Welcome back. I'm MTG Joe. So today we're going to continue a couple more rotation decks that were requested. So we're going to play them through. So this is a take on the Simic Flash deck. So this is one of the more popular kind of, I don't want to necessarily say budget, but a little bit cheaper overall decks in terms of overall cost. So this is something we're gonna try it out, see how it goes. We lose a couple key cards. We lose the Ops, we lose the Merfolk Tricksters, which is a pretty good combat trick. So these are things we want to see how they play out. And we lose the Essence Capture, the counter target creature one with colorless blue. But we'll try it out nonetheless. So the deck itself, what I've kind of substituted in place, in the 1-drop slot, I'm trying out Benthic Biomancer. So we don't have as much to do on 1. It's a card we can play. If we don't have a play on 2, we can adapt it to filter our draws. And it is something I find with this deck, you want to get an early threat down in order to pressure your opponent. So by getting an early threat down, you can then hold up counters to disrupt them for further turns. We still have Spectral Sailor, which is a very good card. It's early game as a threat, late game as card advantage. Playing 3 Unsummons as tempo, this can both protect our spells and then also deal with the opponents. There's also the interaction with Frilled Mystic where you can bring it back to hand and then counter something again. So this is a pretty useful tool to have. Brineborn is one of the main reasons to play this deck. It gives you quite a bit of card advantage, just a big body that if it goes unchecked can win the game. I'm trying out Faerie Duelist. There's not much that's available in terms of flash threats, to be honest. So this is a 1/2 for 2 that can kind of similar to Trickster play with the opponent's attack steps. So we'll try that out. We have some Negates and then some Quench. So Negates obviously for non-creature. Quench is kind of a catch-all. So this would be like Siren's Ruse, I think was the card, the pirate mana leak effect. So we'll see how these goes. This obviously doesn't scale as well late game. We have Essence Capture, which is another way to deal with creatures. And then we have Sinister Sabotage. So Essence Capture has the bonus of putting 1/1 counters, which with Benthic Biomancer can also let us draw and discard. So some synergies there. And then obviously in the 4-drop slot, Nightpack Ambusher is the real engine of the deck. This is what makes it that it can be a viable archetype. You get it down. If it goes a turn or 2, you can protect it. You're just going to get a lot of tokens out of it. Frilled Mystic is a great way to counter and then put pressure. And then I want to try a Dream Eater. I don't know how good it's going to be, but we'll try it out nonetheless. Another card that might be something we want to try out is Mission Briefing. It can give us a way to fill our graveyard and then buy back kind of like a Snapcaster effect. So we'll see how it goes if Dream Eater is something we ever want to actually cast. It is a 6 mana die to Lightning Strike, so we'll see how that goes. Mana base wise, we have Temple of Mysteries instead of the Hinterland Harbors. And then I'm trying out 1 Blast Zone just to deal with more in the post-board games when they have Ceratops or something like that. It's a way for us to deal with permanents that actually resolve. Otherwise, sideboard-wise, Veil of Summer versus Esper, Aether Gust versus blue and green stuff. You can also counter stuff on the stack, so it's just more tempo plays. And then Cerulean Drake versus the red matchup, another Negate, 2 Ashioks versus the Kethis, can never pronounce that name, combo, as well as Scape Shift, and then Ceratops versus blue-based matchups. So we'll try it out, see how it goes, and we'll go from there. I'm just going to play in regular today. I just want to play out the game, don't want to go super competitive, just kind of relaxing with some magic. So as always, if you're tuning in live on Twitch, thanks for joining. If you miss any part of it, you can catch all my replays on my YouTube channel, MTG_Joe. If you're there on YouTube, if you could drop a sub, or here on Twitch, drop a follow. Both are free and easy ways to support the channel and are greatly appreciated. Closing in on a major milestone on YouTube with 1,000 subs. That will be the point where we do a giveaway. So if you can, that would be awesome. This hand here, we don't have any disruption, and we also don't have a threat on 1, so I'm going to mill again. This hand's a little bit better, so we'll keep it. I'm going to put back probably a breeding pool. I don't want to shock in to make it suggest that we have a counter, so I want to play a little bit more natural. We did get some Throne of Eldraine spoilers today, the new Planeswalker. Seems kind of cool. There's food tokens. I don't quite know what they are yet, but it is something interesting. So against a ramp deck, Quench isn't that good. So let's drop this down, start attacking in. Got the shock. So yeah, now we're gonna fall a little bit behind. Just drop the forest. And then finally, my last point of pandering for the stream. We're gonna quench that for sure. If you do enjoy the, or sorry, not. I'm all out of steam today. If you are doing any purchases on TCG Player, I do have an affiliate link in the video description on YouTube down below. If you follow through the link, you do your normal TCG purchase. Just let them know that I sent you there. It is another way you could support the channel by doing something you're already intending to do. So if you're picking up any Commander 19 stuff, or we don't want any more lands, or any pre-orders for Throne, consider the link. Okay, so here I'm actually gonna shock. Either way, I want to either be able to play Nightpack or the Frilled Mystic. I'm gonna frill this. And we just tempoed him out. So the riggedy start wasn't too bad. So this is... We're going to want Aether Gust in this matchup. And... maybe the Ceratops. Oh, they just don't want to play us. It's one of the problems with playing in like the free. Yeah, Quantum. People don't usually like playing against these control decks. It's fine. We'll get some games in. It's really just to test the viability of the deck. Post board, they should have a better matchup. Like, you bring in more removal, you bring in some negates, you're on the play, which this deck's a lot worse on the draw. Not being able to kind of get under their early threats. Plus they have Llanowar Elves, and then if you get a Risen Reef down, it's just inherent card advantage. If these were Force of Wills, we could use them, but... So here's a hand where we've got the mulligan. Okay, well... keep this. We're a ways away. So, question here is if we just trade off. The 1/1s are a lot worse. Oh yeah, we are definitely trading off here. Against Cavalcade, getting rid of their board. Come on. Alright, so we got Benthic. Would have preferred that on turn 1, to be honest. I like the Sailors a bit more. Okay, so we're going to put a stop there. I'm going to unsummon it so it buys us a turn. Just play it out. The Sailor. Here... Hand's a bit awkward, to be honest. And this is the reason with this version as opposed to playing like the Sultai version, for example. You're a little less effective at dealing stuff when it comes down. So our plan here, just take the damage and then drop down Brineborn, try to get it out of range. It's fine. Hey Nuada, how's it going? We're gonna sack this here. They're running out of cards, but if we don't deal with this war boss, we're gonna be pretty far behind. Okay, so we're gonna try to catch him here. Faerie Duelist could come down. Oh, yeah, it's the game. This is so good in a Cavalcade deck. I think we're dead regardless. So we'll just put that there. Come on. I think we're just dead off triggers. Gotta clean my mouse. Yeah, too far behind there. Never drew lands, and we didn't have the counters early. So, a couple combinations there. Cavalcade being on the play versus draw. Both our decks are very contingent on which side we line up with. So we're going to bring in the Cerulean Drakes, the Aether Gusts. I'm kind of inclined to bring in the Ceratops as blockers. Maybe not, actually. Sailors are okay. Probably just get rid of the negates. Yeah, Ceratops aren't that good. 3 cards to cut. How many lands do we have? 23. Unsummon's fine as a tempo play. Probably a couple Biomancers. This at least is a 1-2, which is a good body. Maybe a Sabotage. Frilled Mystic at least is a body. We'll run it like that, see how it goes. Is the stream quality okay right now, visually? I was getting a couple drop frame notifications. So I'm going to keep it on the basis of Cerulean Drake. It's good to trade. Thanks, Quantum. Oh. So here I think we just drop down the Cerulean Drake. They're not going to take the trade, so we need to race them. So turns that where they have Cavalcade is always a lot worse than turns out where we don't. So we're just going to keep poking in here. A couple options. I'm probably going to adapt if they don't play a creature. Firebrand. We don't get the adapt, but our mana is going to be pretty much up for the next few turns. Okay, well, they waste 2 spells. So just gonna set up. I'm fine with that. Counter whatever they play, and then we hold up back-to-back Frilled Mystics, which should be enough to run over the game. Just pass turn. It's kind of a staring match. If we could get one more mana, we can drop Benthic down. So here, just gonna have this enter tapped. We'll just hold up Sabotage this turn. Then if they don't do anything, I'll try to just adapt the Biomancer. Hey John, how's it going? So we took down a Elementals list. They kind of conceded after game 1. They didn't want to play against us. So this suggests to me it's a light up the stage. This client's a little buggy today. Cerulean Drake is really good in this matchup. So, no card advantage. Aether Gust's fine. Okay, so I got another Drake, but... yeah, these cats are stupid. Like, I don't know what value this adds. I would rather have like a friends list where we can actually talk to people. That's fine. I want him to try to get something else down. If not, I'm just going to Aether Gust and put it on top of their library. If they have a shock, it's fine. They wasted on that. They use Fry. Ooh, Brineborn's really good. Brineborn will give us the clock we need. So they can drop this again. Sweet. Yeah, another Brineborn's fine. No attacks here. I want to grow this as for the turn. That's a hard no for a Scampering Scorcher. And now we got a pretty quick clock against them. So deck's not doing too bad. The loss of Opt kind of hurts. I liked having that card cycle ability. So whatever they play, we could Brineborn first. Oh, they bring Chain Whirler in. So we're gonna do this. Interesting. You don't normally see the Chain Whirlers out of the Cavalcade deck. My beer keeps sticking to the coaster. I think we run it back. I think overall mono red is more consistent, just through experimental frenzy, stuff like that. Having said that, the Cavalcade deck is more explosive. So the one thing with Cavalcade is you get to the point of the game where you just attack with your creatures. You don't care if they die. The triggers are enough. And if you can get a Chandra, 3-mana Chandra on Cavalcades down, it's very, very effective. I'm going to keep this. Drake onto his value. Probably don't want the lands right now. I was trying to grind as much of the Cavalcade Cavalcade as I could to try to get to Mythic last season. I think we just hold up like this. I have Quench if need be. 3-drop is when they bring down War Boss, so I'm concerned with that. If they don't play anything, then I'll play Brineborn out. We're not under a huge amount of... So they probably have a removal spell here. But if... oh, they don't. Well, that's fantastic. Just play that tapped. I think we just attack in this turn. It's unlikely they play a spell before combat. Mind you, if they had Chain Whirler, it could have been a way to bait them out of it. So at this point, Quench is going to get a lot worse. Yeah. So we could have had a free block there. They might have the Shock as well. Okay, that's fine. So here we got Nightpack and Frilled Mystic. Both are good cards. We really have an option here. Scorcher's fine. So they'll attack in. I think we just wait, take the damage. They probably brought in a bunch of fries. And then like responsive stuff. But Fry doesn't get rid of Nightpack Ambusher. They need 2 shocks or something. Yeah, this game's over now. I'm gonna hold... Nah, it's attack. Simic Flash is one of those decks when you play it, you're always happy, but when you play against it, it's incredibly frustrating. What the opponent's doing is generally the right kind of strategy, but they didn't get a fast enough clock against us, so we are able to get under them. Yeah, so now we have all the protection we can ask for, and our clock. If you can't get us like low enough life damage before we get the Nightpack Ambusher down, we pretty much lost the game. And then whatever they have, like if they kept a bunch of 4-drops, Chain Whirler is not the best in this matchup. At least now, because like the Drakes don't die to it, and then we have a couple other threats with 2 toughness. Alright. What's our rank at? I'm close to leveling up. We'll hold off on it. We'll run one more, see how it goes. Just a quick stream tonight. I did post it was 19 different rotation-proof decks on Reddit today. Just about a whole bunch of lists. So if you're looking for something to play for the new arena event coming next week, everything's listed there. Everything has a video on the YouTube channel as well, so if you want to see how they play out, anything like that, you can go ahead. Opponent goes first. So we're going to see how aggressive they are. Okay, so mono blue. Mono blue. I can have an essence capture. If I go Biomancer, it doesn't block. I think we pass the turn. Thanks, John. Getting closer on the YouTube side. Once you get to 1,000 subs, they actually start subsidizing you. Not a lot, but it's more just for a couple packs here and there. I've always liked brewing. so it's kind of its reward. Here, yeah, I'm at 968 or 969. Nice. It's funny, I keep going like up one and then down a couple. Okay, so they might have counter here. I think just curve-wise, we're gonna want to do this. Haven't run into mono blue that much recently. Also, don't want another forest. See if they do anything with the Biomancer. This suggests to me that they have a Trickster. No attacks. Because when we attack with Trickster, they'll come in. They have Djinn. I'm gonna bounce to Djinn. It's a little tricky because with the Djinn, I could quench it on the way down, so it works out okay. Because they have this Siren Storm Tamer. Kind of regret bottoming that forest now. So we'll quench it on the way down. So hopefully no spell pierce. So we have another Unsummon, and we have just attack in here. Yeah, mono blue's just really gone away. Shifting Ceratops, like post board, as soon as we get Shifting Ceratops, we win. It's okay. So the trick here, because they might have dive down in hand. Oh, this only does creatures. Okay, so if they have dive down, they get us. We just passed the turn. So it might have been wrong to not sabotage. I'm gonna adapt this anyways. Draw. We get the land, so Dream Eater can go away. Probably gonna let the Sailor die here. Wonder what they have. Their hand's been... like, they've been holding up 2 mana for quite a few turns. I think we just take it. In a pinch, I can just drop down the Frilled Mystic. Might be wrong. But this gives us utility. Yeah. So we're just drawing more cards this way. They are winning the race right now, but... I might... do We drop down a Frilled Mystic just to get a 3-power threat in. Well, I got all the spells in the world. Unless they have like Trickster. Okay, so we got another Sailor. So I'm gonna block with Sailor now. And I'm gonna tax them on their mana. Let's Sabotage here. They're more likely to have Essence Capture. So they have the Negate. Yeah, I think we need to do this. They do get an opening to drop something now, so we're probably there. Oh, and they have a Spell Pierce. So they probably got us now. Take this down, hit us for 4. Yeah. Okay, so they had all the counters in hand. So they were holding it for us. This matchup gets infinitely better now that we bring in this stuff. Coming out in this matchup, the Dream Eater's too slow. Can probably go down 1 Ambusher. Faerie Duelist not bad because it's a 1/2, so it can block the flyers. Oh, I got different art negates. Oops. Biomancer seemed really bad that game. Just really didn't do much. Probably Unsummon. Probably Unsummon. Run it back like that. Blast Zone's also another reason why Mono Blue kind of went away. The fact it comes in on 1 makes it a lot more useful. You could just pop it right away and then the opponent can't really do anything. Was there any other deck lists for rotation proof that I haven't covered yet? There's some people asking about Feather. I'll play it with the kind of forewarning that I'm not a Feather player, if that makes sense. I don't play a lot of it, so I'm not the best. It's not a complicated deck, but it is a little bit more of a convoluted deck. Whew. I think we keep it. Threat into Quench. If we draw green sources, we're laughing. It does get a little worse because I have a lot of 1 mana flyers. Oh, we forgot to update our islands. What kind of filthy casual am I? Grixis is going to be tough for sure. That's not what we want. You know what? Let me try a Grixis list. I'll try to do it tomorrow. It's probably going to have to be 2 colors, splash another color. No Sailor for you. Their 2 drops I'm not as worried about. It's their 1 drop into... Alright, so we ran into our first incident of mana base. No good. I'm not going to concede just yet because Ceratops is still a game win. And we can always value Veil. But we're getting out-tempoed. That's something. We can cast it at least. they have Dejin, then we're pretty bad position. Storm Tamer. You know what? That was my mistake. I should have done this before Storm Tamer came down. Because they have Wizard's Retort. Okay, well. Gonna throw down a Brineborn as a defensive measure. Just trade with the Trickster here. I think we just need to treat our life total as a reasonable, because we have the late game threats to basically bully them. Also, them countering this means they're not committing more to the board. So we'll see. Okay, you know what? We'll run another quick one. Just no sense in subjecting y'all to that. I've been playing tons. Simic used to be the deck that always used to suck, and now there's so many good variations of it. Everything that came out before for Simic was just like, this is for EDH, but good luck in Constructed. Play Esper. But now it's like, I'm playing that Agent Treachery deck right now. I've played Yark Field, played multiple ramp variants, multiple elemental based decks, Bant ramp. There's just tons to play with. We will keep this hand. So question is, do we keep Unsummon open first? I think we just go Temple here. I'm going to keep the island on top, only because it doesn't foreshadow that we have a spell on too. So we see Temple, could be the Mirror, could be Ramp, could be Elementals. Okay. So this might be the game we kind of just go off with. So same idea, not telegraphing that we have the counter. This is basically like playing Feather. So this might be that Simic, like Cavalier deck. Oh, our opponent's not winning this game. Unless they drop Chandra somehow. They are not going to resolve anything on us. So I shock here because Frilled Mystic ups the clock a lot quicker. And we want to close it out as fast as possible. Do you have a moment to speak to our man Frilled Mystic? That's 8 power. Yeah, that's... You get the, like, the god hands. Let's see if they block here. This and Cavalcade is the deck that's... I'd be really curious to see what the win percentages would be on the play and on the draw. It's like that game. Brineborn with protection is basically... It's like very much like Delver strategy. This is blue based, so Aether Gusts are good. I think that's it. Do we want negates? Biomancer seems bad here. Bring in a Ceratops. Take out the Duelist. I'm guessing they play Nisa. Ceratops is more to hedge against their own Ceratops, plus it's a big creature on its own. Let's ride in it like that. Dream Eater can also tuck the Cavalier of Thorns, so with its trigger on the stack, you can bounce it. I used to play, so I played a lot of standard paper, Innistrad, Return to Ravnica block. Like every tier deck I had, I was very competitive at that point. Shifted away to EDH when I got together with a play group. Recently moved in the last year, so I basically sold out of a lot of my EDH collection. I had a fully foiled out Tasker deck that was like $3,000 that I sold out. And now I just have like my Maelstrom Wander EDH deck that I posted on Instagram, and I do have a modern deck. I have Black White Gideon Super Friends, but it was before War of the Spark. I honestly don't get out that much to events. I've been playing for like 10 plus years, so a lot of the cards I just kind of got from opening packs. When I was playing Standard a lot, I'd crack 1 to 2 booster boxes. I was fortunate at the time to still be living at home and had a pretty decent job, so wasn't the smartest with my money. As Magic is, we tend to, they call it cardboard crack for a reason. But I moved a lot of it, so we bought a place that was a lot more reasonable of a way to spend our money. I love that Tasker deck. I couldn't find pictures of it, but it wasn't like CEDH, but it was like, it had foil Palicron, it had like foiled out mana base, everything except duels. It could basically do infinite combo, mill them out, exile, but I had like all my pet cards in there. Now it's just Maelstrom Wander. Yeah, Arena's great cost-wise, and then just being able to play at like your own leisure. I work still like a 9 to 5, so a lot of what I play is like in the off hours in the evening, or even just Netflix is on, we're catching stuff off like the TV, or like you're watching a show, you can jam some games in. Opponent's taking a bit longer here. I'm excited for Brawl to come out. I'm probably going to be playing a good amount at first just to see. There's a lot of like cool cards I've wanted to build around. That always that notion, not good enough for Standard, good enough for Brawl. So we got a feel for Singleton, but haven't really got it. Come on, opponent. What's taking so long? Been milking this beer for too long. Do you guys still play paper a lot, or are you exclusively on Arena now? Okay, so opponent ended up conceding. We're about 45 minutes in. I was just going to do a quick stream anyways, so I'll probably wrap it up at this point. Same as always. On the play, really good, and on the draw, a little subjective to the opponent's hand, but overall still seems like a deck you could play in the new format. So I'll come back. I'll try out the Grixis one for you, John, and Quantum. We'll see how the mana base is without the couple extra scry lands. I'm missing some Nicol Bolas, so I got to see what we're missing and kind of craft from there. I appreciate everyone who tuned in live. If you missed any part of it, it'll be up on YouTube tomorrow. So Wednesday, you can catch it there. Otherwise, have a great night. Thanks for watching. Stream next. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow, John. But if you want, if you're following on Twitch, you should send out a notice. Otherwise, I'll start doing, in like 2 weeks, my wife's in school again. So I'll probably be streaming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights around 6:30 Eastern time. But we'll catch you then. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great one.